Hello, everyone. My name is Tony. So, what we're going to talk about today, what I'm going to talk about today is LLCs, EIN, and business account to be able to start to get your company validated to bid on government contracts and grants. Okay? Now, in order to be able to deal and do business with the federal government, United States of America, federal government, you have to have an LLC. It has to be incorporated. It has to be an EIN attached to it. It's not just an EIN. You have to have a full LLC business to the Secretary of State. So if you don't know how to do that, you go to the Secretary of State, you create an account, and when you create an account, you're going to see everything that says start new business. Press that. Put your business name in. Put your business address, whatever address you want to put in. Most people put home addresses because a lot of people don't have places to start their business. So a lot of people do that. Some people put virtual address, which is something I don't really like. But one of the best business addresses you can use, you can go down to UPS, and UPS has official business address. That's it's not a PO box. It's a business address. You go down there. Sometimes they charge, I think, $100 for 6 months, $120 for 6 months. So every 6 months you renew the business address. So that's a good outlet, a good place to go on. And when you're doing your LLC, go to UPS, tell them what you're gonna do. They're gonna give you the business address because you gotta go back. You gotta go there and get it. But you can't go pay for it and you don't have the LLC. You have to have the LLC, and then it's there. All right. So once you do that, you start your LLC using that address, the UPS business address, which is the UPS in your town, in your community, wherever it is at. That can be your business address, but it's a business address. It's not a home address. Okay. Now, the next thing you're gonna do after you do that, and your business, you do your LLC, you get approved, your name. You could use yourself as an agent. Most of the LLC I do, people want to be their own agent because that's what they want to do. They don't want a third party to be on there. You could put a lawyer, you could put anywhere. Lawyer gonna charge you to be on there to do whatever they want you to do. But you put yourself on your LLC. I'm my agent on my LLC, so I don't have an issue with that. And once you do that and you get approved, the next step is to go to the IRS.Gov, create an account. Boom, create an account, put all your information in there, and get your EIN in seconds, a minute or so. Fill it out. Boom, and then you attach it to your business. After you do all of that, you take those documents, your article of organization, your whole LLC letter, and the EIN letter, print it out and take it down there. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these financial institutions, when you're going to try to get loans and stuff, you have to have the actual EIN letter. All that number stuff is not going to cut it. Get the letter. Have it printed out, put it in something safe, put them stuff in something safe, so when you're going to try to get financial loans for your business, whatever, you have those documents. Now, after you take that to the bank and get approved and everything like that, some bank might ask you for operating agreement. That's one of the easiest things to get. You can go online and put operating agreement, free operating agreement, and operating agreement is basically showing that you're doing business with another company. You're just showing that you're doing business with another company. That's basically what operating agreement. When I do them, I do it like that. If I do a LLC for you, and then they ask you for operating agreement, it's showing business agreement between me and your company, and normally that's what I do for people because I have company and I do that. Now, after you said all of that, your account is created, you have your LLC, everything is good. Now, Once that's all said and done, you go to SAM.Gov. SAM.Gov. Once you go to SAM.Gov, you're going to register your company step by step, right? Right now, I'm trying to do it. I'm going to be showing it over on my computer to show you guys how to go to SAM.Gov. But a lot of you guys already know SAM. Go to SAM.Gov. It's going to say start, register, and all that. It's easy to register it. So once you go to SAM.Gov, you register the company, and you're going to pick all awards. So once you register the company and you start the application, it's going to tell you to put your company name in there, which you're going to put the LLC address, which is the UPS address, in there, and the system going to look for that address, that business, because your UPS address is going to have a suite number on it also, a number. So once you put all that, the UPS address, the system in the federal government is going to find it. Once it finds it, it's going to say, boom, have you seen your address? You press the little circle, boom. Once you press the little circle, boom, now you move on to the next. It's going to say, put your business at. You're going to say, put this in, put all your information in. It's normal. Just fill it out and keep going. It's going to take a while. You just got to take your time. And once you take your time and do it, you look. One thing about this SAM.Gov application is you have to read it. That's some good stuff. A lot of you go around talking about you have businesses and they ain't no work. Well, once you make the federal government your consumer, it's better rather than having a consumer. Make the federal government your client. That's the best thing to do. You can't go wrong with that. Now, after you go through the whole process, and one thing about validating your company with the federal government, when you pick all awards, you'll be able to work in all 50 states. Your company will be available to work in all 50 states, any contract that you pick. You use telling them, yes, I'm available to work in all 50 states. And then you're going to pick one of the country in the world that you want your company to be able to work. So when you got national disaster and all that good stuff, you'll be able to go there. And the system, when you put all the information in, it's going to give you a budget. It's going to give you a budget and all that good stuff. Now, once you do all of that, and you go through the process, you put everything in. Now, one thing about that application, just say you have a trucking business, and your NAICS code, just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your NAICS code. Every company has one NAICS code. One. I don't care how you look at it. Right? So, this is the thing about validating your company. When you validate your company and into that application, it has, it's going to get to a section that you can enter from 1 to 100 to 200, 300 NAICS code. That means any job you can perform, your company can perform. Because the government, when you bid in a contract, the contract has an NAICS code pertaining to, like, let's say landscaping. Even though you have a trucking business, it's a landscaping on that contract, and the NAICS code is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have landscaping attached there because you put 100 NAICS code. You put landscaping, you put real estate, you put catering, you put trucking. You put all the NAICS because you put medical supply, medical equipment, transportation. You put all those NAICS code. You put barbering. You put all that attached to your company. So now when the federal government has a contract that say landscaping 110 million. I'm telling you facts because I've seen these things. I've seen a contract for 110 million. Now, the NAICS code is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, you go and bid on it. You see the NAICS code, you go bid on it. They're going to check they're going to check. Because when you create the SAM.Gov, it gives you a UEI number. Unit entity identifier. That's the social security number attached to your company. And once they pull that up and check to see if your company has that NAICS code attached to it to bid on that contract, you could do it. But if it don't, you're not. You can't get contract without having an NAICS code attached to your company that's saying your company performed that type of duty. Okay? So you gotta make sure you put in all the codes, the NAICS code that you want your company to attach to. And you become an award. That means you can subcontract these contracts that you get from the government. But once you're a new company, you can bid on contracts like $250,000 and under, because you're new. That way they don't look for reference on you and need reference and all that type of stuff. So, but once you get your feet wet, then you can go higher and higher. That way now you have some kind of liability and showing that you can handle the job, because these contractors, you got to be able to handle those jobs. You know what I mean? And when the government, like for example, I seen a contract in Georgia, a landscaping job in Georgia for $110 million. The government had 52 acres of pine trees. 52 acres of pine trees. And they were looking for a company, which is a landscaping company, because the NAICS code is there, a landscaping company to knock down that whole 52 acres of pine trees and then regrow pine trees there. $110 million contract. Now, in the contract, it tells you are responsible for labor, everything. And they telling you paying people has to be between minimum wage. You can't go pay people, well, I'm giving you $30 an hour and this and that and all of that. And then, no, they telling you the minimum wage in here under those Labor Act and all that type of stuff is there, because they don't want you go ahead and paying people and then money run out and you saying all of that. They ain't responsible. They're responsible. They're $110 million. That's what they're giving you to do their job, and you find subcontractors to do it, whatever the case may be. Because you know me, I got a landscaping business. Now I got one. Then I know this person that got trucking, take all the trees down. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So that's how those contracts is. Those contracts are real detailed. Now, once you add all these codes on your application. Now, when you go in the application to it, it's gonna say small business, veterans owned, women owned, minority owned. You gotta check all that stuff, excluding veteran if you're not a veteran. But if you are a veteran, just say you have an LLC and you are a veteran, and you validate your company, you have jumped from bottom to top on this. If you validate your company, you are a veteran. You jump from bottom to top, automatic. Because the Veterans Affair, now after you validate your company, just say you went through the whole validation and you validate your company, you are a veteran. You're going to go to the Veterans Affair website and register your company as a veteran-owned company. If you're not a veteran and you have a family that's a veteran, you put them on there. You can put them as your agent. Then when you're doing the veteran registration, the company registration, your veteran family member going to be 51% and you are 49% on that form. The veteran has to be the majority and then you 49. Because now the Veterans Affair will work with you. The Veterans Affair will not going to work with you if you're not a veteran-owned company. They will not do business with you. I experienced that. And what I'm telling you is facts. I learned this through these people because I talk to these people so much in a day. You know, that's how I learn what I know. Through the federal government, talking to them every day and getting facts from them. So, and they're going to, once you go to register your company to the Veterans Affairs, they're going to check. The first thing they're going to ask you is your UEI number. That's that number from SAM.Gov. You created the business, your and all that stuff. But once you fill the application out and you finish, you're going to get an email. First, you're going to get an email with your UEI number. Then maybe 2-3 weeks later, you're going to get another one that has a cage code, CAGE. So you're gonna have a UEI number and a cage code. And when you go into your portal, you're gonna see your address and you're gonna see your cage code and UEI number. Once you get that cage code, all kind of companies gonna be sending you emails and all kind of crap. But one thing you're gonna know: the federal government don't call you, and the federal government is not gonna email you unless they can't email you to whatever business you're doing with them or to renew your SAM.Gov account. They're gonna email you, send you one of those self email to your email. But third party is gonna be calling and tell you, well, your company need this, your company need that. I'm showing you how to bypass all of that. You know what I mean? So, and any question you have with SAM.Gov, you can call them. Okay? Now, once you have all this stuff going on, your company's registered SAM.Gov, you pick all awards. I mean, you could operate in all 50 states. You could bid on contract. You add 100 NAICS code. You could add all the NAICS code. You put it in. Just put it in that little box, and it's going to tell you. Once you put the number in there, the type of thing's going to pop up. Boop, medical equipment. Boop. Then you put another one. Boop, truck in. Put another one, and you're just adding it all into your portal. All that's going to be added to your company, attached to your company. So that's the beauty of working, validating your company. Having 100 or so NAICS code that way you can work and do anything when your company is just a trucking company, but you can do landscape, you can do everything. The government is not going to work with you if you don't have the NAICS code attached to your business. Not at all. You can't even bid on it. Okay? Now, these contracts also, once you call a phone number on these contracts and these people you're calling is not third-party people. These are United States government people that's handling these contracts. And they're very, very polite and very, very nice and very helpful. One thing you're going to learn, and one thing you need to learn when you're dealing with the federal government, they're like brokers. When you're dealing with these people, you got to know 4 things: communication, understand, respect, and appreciation. The lack of one creates the lack of the other. You cannot operate a business or conduct business without those 4 things being intact. You know how to communicate, you know how to understand, you know how to respect and appreciate. These people don't have to deal with you. But you got to know these things so they're going to like you, they're going to help you. They're going to never tell you they can't help you. They're going to because you're dealing with them. If it's not them, that person, they're going to say, oh, let me call this, go right here. But 10 out of 10, the number you call, that person you're going to say, hey, I'm calling about the landscaping contract for $110 million. Who that person going to say, go ahead and put a bid in. That's all they're going to say. Go ahead, such and such, and you can put a bid in. And if you got the best bid, you get the gig. You see what I'm saying? So, and just by being a minority, that's 5-10% ahead of the game already. You see what I'm saying? So that DEI crap they talking about. When it comes to, and right now things may be hard because this administration is acting all crazy with the contracts. Then, so I don't know, but I'm just saying. But once you do all of that, and you got your company validated, you got your UEI number, and you got your cage code, you are ready to go. So you're a veteran or whatever, part veteran, part this. You go to the Veterans Affairs website, register your company with veterans, and if you have a trucking company, hallelujah, you can move tanks, you can move a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? But that's military's tank. But when you're doing the Veterans Affairs itself, because the Veterans Affairs look for wheelchairs, medical stuff, and because one time they wanted like 7 wheelchairs. And I went on and looked at the contract, and then I call about the contract. The first thing they asked me is my UEI number. I gave them my UEI number. Then the lady said, hey, Valia, you're not registered with the Veterans Affairs. I said, what you mean? Well, I tried to put your UEI number in and it didn't come up. I know it wasn't there. But that right there, she said, well, what you have to do, you a veteran? I'm not a veteran. But she telling me you have to be a veteran in order to do business with us. So veterans look out for veterans. So I couldn't bid on tell them I have the wheelchair. They wanted 7 wheelchair, and two things these federal governments dwell on. 2 things they worry about: price, cost, and time. If you tell them 12:01 you're gonna be there, and you come 12:02, you out of luck. You can't tell these people 1 o'clock and then you showing up 1:30. That ain't cutting it with these people at all. You just be, but they ain't gonna just deal with you no more. You just be on the bottom of the list. That's just how our brokers do. So once you validate your company and all that stuff is good, the next step you're gonna do, right? Now the validation process, once you get approved, every year you have to renew it. And when I mean renew it, update. It's just updating information that you want to update. Like I gotta go in mines today and update my phone number. That's all it is. But when you update it, it's like doing the application all over again. But the application is there. You just gotta go until you reach that part and change the number, and then it go all the way to the process. You gonna get back the letters, them again with a UEI, the cage code. It's like doing it all over again, but it's just you're just updating it. Okay? So once you set, when all that is said and done, and you register, you validate your company, and you all this stuff. Now keep in mind, this type of stuff, this validation stuff with the SAM.Gov. Listen, man, people will say, well, I'm registered with SAM.Gov. No, you're not. You register with SAM.Gov, but you don't have a cage code, and you don't have a, you will get a UEI number, but you got to go through the process to get the cage code and stuff. And they say, well, I got a cage code. Okay. But you have to go through the whole process. Now, once you get all that said and done, right? Your next move, your next action is registering the company with Grant.Gov. Okay? These two companies is like, these two government entities like brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. Some people will tell you, man, I can go to Grant.Gov and I got an account. You got an account, but you're not validated, because you can go in there and see grants, but you can't apply because all those buttons are gray. They are gray. It means you can't press it. You could go press all you want. You're not going to get in. Because anybody can go and create an account with Grant.Gov and see grants, but you can't apply to it. Now I'm going to show you. Being that you're validated through SAM.Gov, you're going to wait. When you approve and done, the information from SAM.Gov automatically goes through Grant.Gov. So you're going to go to Grant.Gov first. After you finish validate, after you finish register with SAM, you're going to go to Grant, register, create an account with Grant.Gov, because the login is going to be the same. Because once you log in here and when you go to Grant.Gov and you press, it's going to log in from there to there. It's the same thing, same system. So once you log in and you do what your name going to be in there, but your account may not be ready to go and look at grants, to press apply and look for grants, because the process over here in SAM.Gov have not been completed yet to where you don't have your cage code and up. So you have to give that time. So once you get that, then you go to Grant. And once Grant got a week or so, and you go back in there, once you go back in there and you say you're going to see the search bar, you're going to know if your account is ready for Grant.Gov. Once you go into Grant.Gov. Then once you go into Grant.Gov, you're going to put search. Put a grant name, put whatever you name. Grants are given by all the department in Washington, D.C. Homeland Security, Board of Education, Department of Defense, FEMA, all those are the people in those are where the grants come from. Those are where the grants come from. Now, once you validated and register on both of these websites, you're in the game. You can bid on contracts, or you can go look for grants. Now, one thing about these accounts, you can't print nothing out of it and tell somebody, look this. You can't print nothing out of that stuff. That stuff is locked in. It's a portal. So if you go ahead and look for grants, when you go look for grant application is 9 pages. 9 application, not 9 pages. Most 9 out of 10 grants are 9 application. 9. So you got to go. Each of them has a different, like, finance, this, that, and you have to fill out. And the portal, the grant portal, do error check for each application. And then you go to the next topic, fill it out, check. It does that. You could save, come back later, go back into your portal, go back to where you're granted, and continue. Okay, that's how that's how that portal is very sensitive. So if somebody gonna do a grant for you, they have to come to your portal. You can't do nobody no favors and no grants in that portal because they are not in there. They are not validated to be in there. You can't put another company name in there. It's not recognized. They have to go through the same process you went through. Okay? So now, once you do all of that with these grants, what you're going to notice about grants, the detail, the eligibility, native, 501(c), and government entities. So if you're running a business and it's under the government or whatever, and 501(c), they always get approved. They're always eligible for grants. Now, if you're a small business, you're gonna see it say if it's a native 501(c) government entity. These are the big grants. Sometimes they $1 billion grants and all of that. Those are the people that can apply. They're eligible for that. If you see small business on that eligibility, you can apply for that grant. But if you don't see small business nowhere in the eligibility, you can't apply for it. It's like an NAICS code. But if you're a native, if you're running a government entity, if you're a 501(c), if you're a small business and it says small business, it's there. You can apply. Now, once you see that and it says small business, the red button is right there. It's red now. So once you go, you're going to see all the expiration date of grants on the right hand side, when the grant going to expire. A lot of grants is 90 days. 90 days. And some grants has 2 parts. Now, how grant work is this? A grant takes 6 months to 18 months to be approved. Okay? 6 to 18 months. I don't care what anybody tell you. Okay? And when people do grant for you, if you're not sitting there with somebody that's doing a grant for you, because grant asks you for certain things, and if you don't have it, I don't know what they putting in there for you or what the case may be, but it ain't right. It just ain't right. But they got to come to your portal. They can't do what they want because it's your portal. And the grant application is basically everything about your business and your mission statement. Okay? Your mission statement is what they're going to read in that box, what you're going to do with the grant, what you're trying to do, who's your targeting audience for the grant. And I always tell people, your targeting audience is veterans. Because right now, as we speak, the Veterans Affairs looking for places to house veterans. So if you have property and you have buildings and you have rooms, you can get vouchers from these people and you can house veterans. But veterans has to have their own room. When you get if you have these buildings, they have to have their own room. They have to have something they can watch TV, and they have to have something where they can have like a multi-purpose where they can get on a computer and look for jobs. But they can't be in no room all one. Everybody has to have their own room. That's how they are with the veteran. But that's the number one thing right now. If you do a grant and you're doing it to house veterans. Okay, that's one of that. So a 501(c) a lot of church, you're gonna go above that. If your mission statement talk about veterans and what you're doing for veterans, you're gonna bypass everybody, man, and go to the top. Now, grants. Another thing, how grant work. Grant works by awardee. It's called awardee, right? Awardee is basically, say a grant is $100 million. And you see it's a 50 awardee. That means out of 100 million, 50 awardee. Now, 1,000 people can apply for this grant, but it's only 50 can get approved. And you want to be in that 50. So the grant is 100 million. And just say, and it's 50 people. So you have 100 million. And when I mean 100 million, I mean that's the total of the grant. So you get picked for the grant, and it's a 7.5 million. If you don't get, that's the top. The bottom is 1 million, no, 500,000. So it doesn't have no approve. So it has either you get 7.5 or you get a 500,000. You trying to shoot for the $500,000. Okay? That's how grant is. And it goes by those 50 people they're gonna pick. Now, you put in for $7 million. That's what you put in for your budget because you saw a building that costs $500,000. You put that in there. You have administrator that you have to put the administrator, put the name, because they will investigate these stuff. You put the administration name, person name in there. You put everything. It has everything in there. You have to put and research it before you put it in there. So if you see a building that costs a certain amount of money, you call the individual, ask them how much it is. When they ask what you're doing, and you tell them, I'm trying to house veterans. Wow, that's some good stuff. And then you put the numbers they give you, they're selling it for. You put it in your grant, right? Because you don't have to put no money out because the grant gonna buy that if you get approved. The grant gonna take care of all of these stuff. Once you do all that and you fill the grant out, now you can get a lot of people. You can bring a teacher. A lot of teachers are grant writers, so you can get them to do it. But when you're reading a grant, you can do as many grant in your portal because it's yours. It's yours. If the grant say gray and you can't apply, that means the grant expire. If it's red, those are applied. I mean those grants are available right as we speak because the date gonna be here. But not because they're available, that means you are eligible for them. In order for you to be eligible for the grant, you have to be one of those criteria. Native, government, 501(c) or 501(c), and a small business. Those are the things. And individual grant, they normally don't really have a lot of those in there. They barely have them. So it's basically like your company grant. That's what you'll get a lot out of. So once you do that and you put the grant in, you don't have to wait to send it in. It has a submit button at the end of those grants. Submit. You get pulled, you're going to get an email from them about your grant. If you over put it, like just say the grant is not that much and you go put your expense $7,000-8,000 and the grant is not, you're not going to get they're going to tell you it's not in the budget. So you got to put the grant to what the numbers. So if you see the numbers say it's $100 million, then you say, damn, each award you're getting $7 million. So you base your budget on that $7 million, and everything that you're buying is between that $7 million. That way, now when you get approved, everything that you budget in and you put it in is directed into that $7 million. See what I'm saying? I ain't never did no grant for nobody, but I know how to fill it out. Because it's self-explanatory. If you know your business and what you're doing, it's just asking you questions about your business. You know what I mean? If you're not a type of person that know how to deal with that, you need somebody to do it. But your mission statement is basically what is it that you're going to do? Who is it targeting? And you just got to impress them. It's just like going to a bank and asking the bank for $500,000. The bank want to know how they're going to get their money back. So you got to impress them with your plan, your ideas. Same thing with the grant. You're just impressing them with what you're trying to do and who you're doing it for. And that's it. Your mission statement. That's what the grant is. It's just a small box. And they say, be detailed and get straight to the point. Now, once you get all of that done, because as soon as you go into the Grant.Gov, it asks you for your UEI and cage code. Because now it's going to know that you are validated because you're going to put those in. It's boxes. You're going to put that in there because you are validated. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't fill that stuff out and talking about, well, I got a Grant.Gov. No, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got no Grant.Gov account. If you had it, you would be able to, all your buttons would have been red. That means you can apply. You see what I'm saying? Now, once you're validated, you register with Grant.Gov, you could be on that thing all day, looking for grants, putting different. If somebody come and tell you, man, you heard about that grant? What grant? And they tell them get the ID number for the grant. They get the ID number for the grant, take the ID number, go to your portal, go home, go into your portal, log in, put the ID number in the search bar, and see what comes up. And when it comes up, it's going to tell you the eligibility for the grant and all of that. It's going to tell you everything. If it's a small business, you're eligible for the grant because the eligibility is right there. Not you don't just be going to doing grants. The eligibility is right there, and you got a lot of these technology grants in there. All this, a lot of science and all of that stuff, going on in there. So once you get that validated, your company validated, you get your LLC, your company validated through SAM.Gov. You wait for your cage code. Once you get your cage code, then you go to Grant.Gov, register the company, open up the account, wait till the account Grant.Gov get active. Once you get active, that's the only thing you got to do over there. Just wait. And once you get active, you can go in there and look for all millions and thousands of millions of grants in that sucker there. You know what I mean? You just got to look for the one that says small business. That's what you got to look for. The one that says small business. That's the grant you got to look for. Nothing else. If you are a small business, that's what you're looking for. Don't be looking for nothing else because you see a grant that say $1 billion. If it don't have small business on it, there's no need to be looking at it because you're not eligible for it. You're wasting your time. Look for grants that say small business. Put in your search bar. Just put anything you put in any topic you put in a search bar. It's going to tell you how many grants, and then the same thing with the contract. It's going to tell you how many contracts that's available for what you're putting in there. How many contracts that's live or there. Something like grants, when you put that in, it's going to tell you how much there. You're going to say maybe 5,000, 10,000. It tells you. That's active. What's active and what's not active is all there. So that's what you do. But when you have people coming on here and telling you, oh, you can go ahead and get grants, you go ahead and get a loan, that's a bunch of nonsense. It's nonsense, okay? But what I'm going to do, I'm trying to get my computer to swap, but that way when I do it, I have to get these cameras, because I just started this YouTube channel, people. I just started. It's Rakeil, Rakeil Dubois, Duboise 4711. I just started it, and I'm working on a lot of things, so I can get things together, so I can give this good information. But a lot of people gonna come on there and telling you, you can go over here, Grant is over here. If you can't contact me after I do this, or you can't call me, or you can't DM me, there's a problem with that. See, if you can't contact somebody that's telling you all this nonsense, or whatever the case they want you to believe, it's a problem. Or they're telling you, well, I can't answer, I can't do this. When I do this, I'm 10 toes down with what I do. I stand on this, 100%. Facts. You can call me. You can ask me a question. My number is 954-305-8823. 954-305-8823. And ask me any question you want. I don't play. I ain't into that crab stuff. Lying and telling people this and fraud. When you got somebody on here telling you, trust me, I promise you, don't believe them. They don't know you, but they want you to trust them and promise all these promises. No, that's a sign. You understand? But anything I'm telling you, I'm going to show you when I get my computer, everything up, show you how, even if you call me and you're on SAM.Gov and you're asking me a question, I know I tell you how to direct you. I can direct you there. So if you call me 954-305-8823, I will tell you when you go in front of your computer, boom, boom, boom. And this is what I do for a living. But I don't just sit with anybody and talk about this, because you got to be up here for this stuff, man. You know, you got to be up here. You got to be ready to do this, because I'm going to charge you to do this if you come to me out here. But this is not what I create this channel for. I didn't create this channel to be charging people for this information. I'm coming to share it. Only thing this is going to cost you is Rakeil Duboise 4711. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. That's all I'm asking for you to subscribe to my channel and get educated about this stuff. And I can guarantee you, when I'm finished and you're finished, you're going to have a full validated company. You're going to have everything that I'm telling you in front of you. And if I lie, Lord, stick a needle in my eye, because I know what I'm telling you is factual. When you call me, 954-305-8823, I will guide you and tell you what you're doing. And everything that I'm saying, you're going to see it. Facts. So, but you have to have an LLC. And once you get your LLC, connect your EIN to it. And then another thing I can give you guys some information about is, a lot of people do these business, and you have to get rid of this Yahoo and Gmail email. You got to get a domain. You got, if your company name is fashion, it's going to be info@fashionllc.com. That's a business email. All these Yahoo, Gmail.org, those things are personal emails, and underwriters look for that. So I have there's some information I'm gonna give you guys where you can just pay $23 a month for a domain, 10 emails. You get about 10 different 10 email, domain email. You could give everybody in your company. You can give everyone in your company an email. Give them that email, but it'd be the same, a business email, but it's your company email. It's gonna have an email to you have your own business email. You're gonna have a website. You're gonna have a corporate line. You're gonna have a business address. All that. You're gonna have you have these 4 things as a bundle for $23 a month. So I'm just putting that out there. So I want to. I'm talking about it, but I want to be able to show you guys. You know what I mean? Show you guys some stuff. That way, you can. And this business, this company is available in all 50 states. You know what I mean? And you go in and you're only paying 20. And the business address is only $50 a year. $50 a year. Business address, business address, not domain, virtual. Business address. $50 a year. So when you start in the whole process, you're gonna end up paying $50. And guess what? You got email, corporate line, your domain, and you got your business address. That whole package, you're gonna use that for 90 days before you start paying $23 a month. 90 days. You're gonna use it for 90 days, and when that day come, on that 60 day come, whatever card you have on file, they're gonna take $23 every month. Except, remember when you pay the $50, what state you in is $25 for Georgia, $50 from other states most of the time. Okay, you're gonna only pay that $25. You won't only pay that $50 for your business address for the year. I told some of y'all you can go to UPS. UPS is more expensive than this, but UPS is only giving you a business address. This is a business address, and you don't have to have when you're doing your LLC, you put your business address there, and you put your mailing address, which is your home, because that's where you want documents and stuff to come. You don't want it to go to the business address. You want your mail to come to you. That's where you want it to come to, because when you're filling out your EIN letter, it'll ask you your business address and actually your mailing address, actually for 2. You know what I'm saying? And they different. So once you get that, you get a portal for that. And when you're gonna check your email, it's not an app. It's not a you can't add this business email to your phone like you add in Yahoo. No. You're gonna log into your account. And when you log into your account, you go to email, and then you log into your email, and all your business email is there. Everything. And then you got your phone. It's an app. The phone gonna come. The company gonna give you an app, and when that phone rings, you know it's a business call. So you're gonna have that app on your phone. And we're not talking about that Google stuff. It's none of that. It's a real phone number and a real line. You know what I mean? And if you wanna do a business line, y'all can get different Magic Jack. You can get these $25 for the whole, $50 for the whole year landline. We're talking about a landline, because that's what underwriters look for. When there's people trying to give you, this is the thing about y'all, a lot of people who have these businesses. Y'all want people to give y'all money, but y'all don't got your stuff together. And y'all want to wonder why y'all ain't getting approved for these loans and all these things. Yes, it be your credit, but at the same time, your company's not structured the right way. You see what I'm saying? Y'all want somebody to give you money, and a lot of y'all want people to give y'all money, but y'all don't want to pay it back. Who give you $500,000 and then you're gonna ask me, I gotta pay it back? What the hell is that shit? Are you serious? I gotta pay back. So what you mean you gotta pay back? You don't want to pay back? That's just ignorant, very ignorant, to think that you want to get $1 million from a financial institution or from the government and don't want to pay back. That just don't add up. It doesn't add up, and it doesn't make sense. You're gonna be tongue wrestling with that individual all the time when they call you, all the time, because they want something free. Ain't nothing free, man. Ain't nothing free. You don't go in a bank and tell a bank give you $50,000 and then the bank say, okay, have a good day, keep it. Come on. I mean, take sense out of nonsense and nonsense out of sense and see what you get. That shit just don't add up, okay? So, structure your company. Once your LLC structure right, and the stuff I'm telling you, you don't want anything to be leading to your house and all of that stuff. And then when you're doing a business name, stop doing business names so when somebody Google your business name, 20 names came up the same way. No. Put a name to, go ahead and Google a name to where when it comes up, it's only yours come up. Because people might get mistaken and say, oh, this is your company, when it's not your company. So if you're going to put a business name or your name, put it to where when people Google it, that's the only company show up on Google. You know what I mean? That's the only company show up on Google. And you ain't got to worry about other companies showing up and people getting confused that, is this your company? Is this that? You see what I'm saying? You don't want that. So if you see a company that say Target, no, you're going to put Target 1. That way your company, when somebody put Target 1, you'll be right on the top. You see, like when you Google stuff, you see all these damn things and you're like, damn, which one is it? Which one is it? And when you're dealing with government, you don't see people trying to email you that saying they're part of, no, they're not part of the government. They're using the government name, but it's not .gov. If they don't say .gov, it's not government. If I do an email and I say Valia Grant.com, that's my email. I'm just making you think that I'm a government employee or whatever, trying to fool you. No, if you see an email that say IRS.gov, that's government. Grant.Gov, SAM.Gov, Board of Education.gov, those are government. But if you see somebody's put Board of Education.com, that's a third party. Automatic off the rip. It's a third party. So you will get, once you get a cage code and you get this stuff, all these companies gonna be hitting you up. If they don't say .gov, just keep moving, man. You're not interested. They're gonna tell you, well, you got to do. There's a lot of things you can do and find out. When you're talking, if you don't know something, call the government. That's my biggest recommendation. Number one recommendation. You don't know something, call the government. You don't know something, Secretary of State, call the Secretary of State. Call the government. Call ERA. You can call these people. These people are here to help you. You feel what I'm saying? But when you got a third party call you and tell you, third party gonna call you to validate a company, they're gonna charge you $35,000, $45,000, $5,000 just to validate the stuff I'm telling you right now. Go all the way up to $8,000. That's what they're doing out here to validate these companies, these folks. If I validate a company for you, I go between $1,000 and no more than $2,500 because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I'm just saying it's a lot of work. But when you love to do it, you don't crack people in the head. I love to do it, so, and I know that it's something new to a lot of us that doesn't have that opportunity. So the more people that I can help the more referral it brings to me, and the more people can listen in, and we can talk about everything. You know, my station gonna be just let's just talk about it. We talk about everything. Okay, so that's my focus, to help people. Make sure if you have question, you can call me 954-305-8823. You can call me, ask me questions. If you have something that's going on, and you need to know it is, you can ask me a question. I'm open for that. I'm not in about, yo, you can cause this, you cause, no. Just subscribe to the channel. Help me help you. That's all it is. God is good. One hand washes the other, two hand washes the face. Subscribe to the channel. Rakeil DeBose, Rakeil DUBOISE. That's about it. 4711. Rakeil DUBOISE 4711. Rakeil DeBose. When you go on there, you're gonna see my picture I got on white. I got pictures on there with my bully. You know, I'm just trying to just jumping all over the place right now. But my channel gonna be focused on prostate cancer and businesses. Prostate cancer, LLC, government contracts, grants, and stuff like that. And that's what my focus was. Where a lot of these things I'm gonna be talking about health, you know, especially the prostate cancer. So, and people who going through that time of their life, who has that, and things I'm gonna say to them to help them and to get back, you know, some good stuff. But please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everyone. The channel is Rakeil DeBose, Rakeil DUBOISE 4711. If you have any question, you can call me 954-305-8823. 954-305-8823. I stand on what I talk about. I stand on what I know. I stand on what I tell you. I'm not going to tell you anything wrong. I'm the first person you're supposed to call, and I'll be the last one you're going to call, because I'm the one you got to call to fix the shit you done did, and somebody done tell you some shit that you went on and did it, and now you stuck, and I got to get you out of it. That's who I am. But I'm a man of my word. I stand on what I say, and I stand on what I do. Okay, so if you have any question, feel free to call. I'm always open to meeting new people and helping people all over the world. Subscribe to the channel. Even tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, and jump in. But this is what we're going to do. So a lot of people may not see the video when I'm just starting. I only got 50 subscribers. I like to build it up. But my phone number, you can call and ask question. 954-305-8823. The information is free. There's nothing in return. There's no asking for money. There's none of that. All I'm asking for is to subscribe to my channel, and that's it. Support. That's all I'm asking for. There's nothing that you can ask me that I won't be able to answer. Maybe you may want to hear the answer, and anything you ask me, I will know where you're going with it. I'm not slow. Very far from that. You could ask me a question, and my mind will tell me where you're going already with it, because I learned how to recognize these things. Been around, know it. You understand what I'm saying? But if you ask me about taxes, if anything you ask, I know. I do taxes also, yes. I do a lot of business taxes. You know what I mean? So I can answer questions. I'm not going to tell you something because I'm going to act like I know it. If I don't know it, I'm going to say, yo, I think you should do this. I think you should do that. But the first thing I'm going to do when I don't know something is tell you to call the government. I ain't going to tell you to go Google, go do this. Call the government. Somebody going to get on their phone and say, nay or yea, or go here or go there. Because I'm not going to tell you, why don't you try over here? Call the government, bro. Matter of fact, we're going to three-way. We're going to talk to them. We're going to ask them questions. And then we're going to talk about, how you call that? If you, safe corporation, what do you call it? Company where people can, you know how they sell these corporations that's already created, and then they selling it to you. I'm going to show you how to get that from the Secretary of State for next to nothing, for just nothing. Company that got into dissolve, like just say a McDonald's has been dissolved. I'm going to show you how to get it, how to get that existing company between the year of 1 and 3 years to 5 years. I'm going to show you how you can go ahead, instead of starting a new LLC, how you can go and pay for whatever the dissolvement is and own the company and remove the EIN off it and add your EIN to it. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, but subscribe to the channel. Rakeil DeBose 4711 RAKEIL DUBOISE 4711. If you want to have any questions, you can call me 954-305-8823. 954-305-8823. Don't call me with no bull crap about fraud. I don't do fraud. I'm telling y'all that. So if you ask me a question about that crap, or you ask me a question, I know where you're going to be going with it. I stand on that. Facts. I know what it is. You understand? So that ain't, it don't cut me. If you have a bad intention, don't call my number. If you have a bad negative intention, don't call my number. If you doing a business and somebody asks you what's your social security number so they can do what they need to do, and you like, and you don't want to do that, I don't do business with you. Because if you're gonna do business and get legitimate and do your stuff, your social gonna be used to get an EIN. I don't care how you look at it. And if you don't want to give up certain information, that's a waste of time doing business with you. Because we ain't here for that. You know what I'm saying? Prison life is not a good life. I'm just letting y'all know that. So, subscribe to the channel. Rakeil DeBose 4711. Just talk. Right? I'm still working on the name, but just talk. We talk about anything that you want to talk about. If you have any questions, feel free to call. Ask me. 954-305-8823. 954-305-8823. And I want y'all to always read what you see. Don't just assume assuming that's what it is. Read and follow direction. So now y'all keep y'all head up. I appreciate the support. Subscribe to the channel. One love. One hand washes the other. Two hand washes the face. Always remember this. Communication, understanding, respect, and appreciation is what makes the world go around, yo. This is how you conduct business. Next time we're going to be talking about trucking. We'll talk about a lot of different stuff. How to get your authority. How to get this. How to stop being a middleman. All them good stuff. All right? So now, one love. Y'all keep y'all head up. Stay blessed. Who y'all bless? No man curse.